the White House says the solution for inflation is more government spending. I kid you not. And this is a great time to bring in Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy. Bill, explain to me why spending more money is the way to solve high inflation.
Spending more money will not help inflation. Spending more money, the Democrats think, will help their reelection chances. This is a political play in which they have to take care of those folks who they wish to make indebted to them. But what they're doing is indebting the rest of us by the hidden tax of inflation. That's a political play, actually.
Well, it may be a political play, but it seems to not be working with the voters. You look at the polling, the most recent polling for the president, down to a 33% approval rating. And let's not face it, this high inflation is a tax on the middle class and lower income working families who are the least able to afford these really high prices. So politically, I think it's a non-starter.
It is a non-starter. People that used to buy steak now buy hamburger, and people who buy a hamburger are buying hot dogs. And if you bought hot dogs, I don't know what you're buying. But the point is that the president's approval rating is going down. He campaigned as a moderate. He's governing, so to speak, as someone from the far left. The policies aren't working. The American people feel had, and they feel poor. And that's a bad combination for a president.
Well, you know, the Build Back Better legislation is stalled in Congress. Thank God for that. But what's interesting is that as this country continues to struggle and the prices go up, the labor shortages go on, this administration is more focused on voting rights legislation. It may be a pivot. It may be trying to a smokescreen, if you like. But the reality is people are not buying it.
I agreed with your previous guest. When he said we have all these major issues, the crisis at the border, the inflation, the logistics issue, and the president's in Georgia talking about voting rights, when Georgia has more permissive laws than his own state of Delaware, that once more seems a political play. Now, Republicans, obviously in the minority, we're all about what do we do about inflation? What do we do about the problem at the border? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I agree with Bill Simon, who spoke earlier. That's where our priority should be.
All right, let's shift gears if we can. Senator, you introduced a bill that would prevent criminals from receiving a stimulus check. But Democrats blocked that bill, and the Boston Marathon bomber still got his check. This is one of these issues that makes you shake your head. But why are Democrats trying to block something that I think most people in this country would say is ridiculous?
It is ridiculous. It's salt in the wound. It's a thumb in the eye. It brings back kind of the anger for the victims that their tax dollars are going for someone who did heinous crimes such as the Boston bombing. I can't answer for Democrats, really can't, because it's really a bill that everybody should be behind. It's just kind of the state we are in, where their party would rather stimulus checks go to people in prison, which just once more is salt in the wound of the victim.
I mean, stimulus checks to convicted killers, sex offenders. I don't know how you can defend it.
It's not just a stimulus check, actually, it's your tax dollars. It is almost as if we're going to pull out of your wallet and give to the person of whom you are a victim. Now that is the insult to injury. Now, by the way, clearly too much money in the economy is part of the reason of the inflation. The $1.9 trillion COVID relief package that Biden passed on a party line vote is contributing to this in one small measure. That's part of the contribution. It is an echo of the insult.
Well, fight the good fight, as they say. Senator Bill Cassidy, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it very much.